Hey everyone, in this Madden 24 Ultimate Team Beginner's Guide, I want to give you a good overview of Ultimate Team and help you decide whether it's a mode you want to spend your time in. There are various different game modes inside Madden 24 and Ultimate Team is one of them. So what's it all about? Ultimate Team is basically creating your very own fantasy team of players, but using a set of game mechanics that links to other players playing the same mode. And it's best explained, I suppose, by going through all of the different systems here. But what we're doing is creating our own fantasy squad based on cards that we win from doing certain objectives and also buying on the auction house or buying in packs. And a lot of that can be a little bit randomized, so you don't end up with the team that you ideally want initially, but you can build that up over time as your sort of resources increase, I suppose. So we're inside Ultimate Team here, and on the main page of Madden 24, you'll just see a button option for Ultimate Team. Just go into there and then you see these various different things. So we'll walk through all of the basics here and help you understand what you're looking at. So just above my head, you see it says Ultimate Team there and then play just above my head there. And to flick between those menus is RB or LB. So we have play, live events, my team, marketplace. And we're going to be walking all the way through those and explain what's going on. On the top right hand side, you also have lots of little icons. It says UTCP, UT again, all these sort of things. And you're like, what the heck is all of that? Season level 1, overall 76, next era, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry, my friends. I'm going to clear it all up. Okay. So this first page that we're on, the play page, is where you have access to, funny enough, being able to play the game. So there are different game modes here. There are challenges, where you play little mini challenges against the CPU teams solo or with your friends. So it's entirely up to you if you want to do that. And they are very short modes. They earn you coins, which you can use to buy players and other resources in the game. They can be as quick as 20 seconds, or they can take a few minutes depending on what the challenge is. So that's that first thing. I'll probably delve into these slightly later into this video, but I just want to give you a quick overview of everything you're looking at though. Solo battles. This is where you take on 4 new CPU opponents every morning in a weekly event. So when we go into there, I have a choice of 4 opponents and I can pick to go against any of those. Now they're controlled by the computer, but they are based on other players' squads. So you'll get a rating, and when you're looking at those squads, it gives you an idea of whether you'll be able to beat them and what level of difficulty. And the nice thing about it is you can change the level of difficulty. So even if your team sucks, so let's see, you see on the right hand side, my team is currently overall 76. If I'm playing a, say, 80 rated squad, I could lower the difficulty to help me compete against that squad. So, or indeed increase the difficulty, say that squad was, say, 60. I could increase the difficulty to help me increase my rewards. Again, like we have with challenges, you can earn yourself coins, XP, and all sorts of stuff with that as we go through. Head to head, if you're interested in multiplayer, this is the one for you. You face off against other players in the head-to-head online matches. So this is where you will play against a real-life player elsewhere in the world in a real-life match. So that can be easy, can be hard, depends on the opponent. There is some matchmaking that goes on, so entirely up to you when you want to do that or not. House rules, these are play and special events that have unique rule sets. So special game modes where the rules are changed a little bit, and you can earn a bit of sort of points and stuff from that if you want to go into it. I've not really dabbled too much on that at the minute. I tend to focus on the solo battles, but we'll talk about that. There's also the MUT draft. This is draft a new team and play the CPU or head-to-head. So this one works a different way. Rather than using your mode, you create a new sort of fantasy squad based on certain requirement or certain things that it gives you at the start. So pick this card, this card, this card, and then you can play a few different modes using that team and earn some nice sort of rewards for doing that. So you can see a little bit about that. You can play against your friends. So if anyone else that you know has Madden 24, you can just do online matches against them. And you've got the practice area where you can use your lineup and practice your strategy. So what the heck is a lineup? If you're coming from a UK game like FIFA 23, you may not even know what a lineup is. So that's just above these. So we see we've got the lineup here, we've got my items here, and your lineup is basically your squad, what we'd say in football over in the UK, or soccer as you call it in the US. But this is where you have access to your squad of players. You've also got access to everything you own in my items here. So if we have a little look at that in just a minute, well, I will come back to these. I don't want to talk about them just yet because I want to sort of show you how this part links to the live events first. So we're going to tab over to that, or RB or R1 on the top bar, to this that says Season 1. And I'm just going to move my face to, let's go top right there, just so you can read this. So it says, we're currently in Season 1. Welcome to the next era of Madden. Kick off your Season 1 Ultimate Team by completing objectives to give your team a strong start. Earn Bryce Young, Reggie White, and upgrades for Jalen Ramsey's S1 item by leveling up in Season 1. Expires, this is 4th of October 2023. Note in the US that the month and the date is flipped round compared to UK, so just point that out. Sorry, US people. I know it's mostly US people working here, but that confuses the heck out of UK people. Anyway, so you see here it says objectives, events, sets, all this sort of stuff here. So it says view objectives, playing events tied to this program, sets, blah, 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 catalog. So if we look at the objectives, as well as playing all of the different modes, the objectives kind of link in with that. And this is a way of earning lots of bonus XP. So I'll explain some of these. So there are some stat bonuses you can get. So one of the big objectives for this season is to score 700 plus touchdowns in any game mode. So touchdowns is, you know, when you get the ball to the end. Again, sorry, I'm dumbing this down for people who haven't played Madden 24. But the more you score, the more you will earn. So you can see here on the right hand side, you have a sub objectives. So if I get to 100, I will get 1500 XP. But if I select this, if I don't want to do that. If I look on the right side, right stick will move me down all of these. And it's just taken a moment to go down. Come on. 700 plus touchdowns. So once I get to that, I would get the 10,000 XP it shows down the bottom there. So it's worth keeping an eye on these. Many of these are kind of pretty obvious, really. You know, you're going to score touchdowns. You're going to rush yards. You're going to, do team tackles, etc. But it's giving you extra XP as you do these. The next one is the Ultimate Team. So you get bonuses if you do the daily objectives. So you see here, I've completed this one. So it says complete. And just beneath me here, it shows what I ended up for that reward. I got myself 5,000 coins. Just to the side of me there, it tells you exactly what it was, plus a pack of players. And if we go down to the daily tracker, this shows whether I've done the daily objectives. I get a reward if I do them in a row. So for example, just to the side of me there, if I complete all the daily objectives for 5+ days, I would earn at 20,000 XP. The last thing on this tab, RB Ultimate Team. This was the daily objectives for today. Pretty easy. Record 200 passing yards, so just pass the ball and get more than 200 yards gradually over the time that you're playing. 150 rushing yards, that's where you just pass the ball and the player not pass the ball, give the ball to a player and the player runs, or it's called a rush. And then an extra bonus for going past 200 and ended up on 500. And for each of these, you see like 1,000 XP, 2,000 XP, 3,000 XP. And I also got the coins as well there. So that is kind of one of the ways you're earning stuff. And this will make sense why you need XP in just a second. So now if we look at the rewards, so this is the season that you're working towards. So these are rewards that you get as you play the game. So this is your encouragement to keep playing. So that XP that we were talking about that you earn, it relates to these. So I've currently, if I move to here, I've got 7,000 XP. So it's pretty early on in the game. But if I can get to 10,000 XP, I will win a player card, 70 plus overall player. Not a big reward there, but if I can get to level 4, I get an 83 rated DeAndre Swift. And of course, the more you play and the more XP you earn, the greater the reward as we go through the season. This is what's on for the next 46 days, 4 hours and 35 minutes. Top left tells you how long you've got to do it. And if you can get all the way up here, you'll be earning big packs, lots of coins on the way. Each one of these is 10,000 coins. And the more you get to, the more the rewards. So if you get all the way to the end, you'll get a Triumph Elite Pack, super duper pack with lots of players. So you will build up your fantasy squad over time. And sometimes you will get other single players or packs of players. Just seeing if there's another. There you go, there's another player card. DeAndre Hopkins, an 86 rated version at level 34. So that links to playing the game. So as you're earning the XP, those extra perks will unlock as you go. So we talked a little bit about solo battles, but I want to talk about now your team. So this is what you're building up to. And we were talking about a lineup. What's a lineup? So this is the squad that plays and also the subs that will come on and compared to something like soccer or football. I struggle to call it soccer, we call it football in the UK. But we have 11 players on the pitch, and in the American football, I think, is it 24? So you have like an offense, a defense, and then special teams. I think it's 24. Sorry if it's not. I'm still learning. Be gentle with me, man. But I am enjoying it. So there's my offense. And we've got all the different positions here, and you've got like the main dude and then the backup. So you need a big squad to do all of these. So you can see you may have more than one backup here. So the first one is the one that's going to be on as default, and then the other one may be subbed on if that player has a problem or gets tired or whatever. So this is the offense. So all the different positions. So we see the position here. WR stands for wide receiver, halfback, quarterback. So you see that pops up as you focus on the player. And then on the defense side, we've got the same sort of thing, but this team comes on when it's the other team's turn to attack or to be the offense. You've then got special teams, so these will come on and do certain things like punt, so a big kicker of the ball. See, my punter is only 68 rated, so I really need to improve that. We've got kickers, kick returners, punt returners, all this sort of stuff. So, and then you've got your specialists that again will come on for certain scenarios. So we've got that. We've got the strategy. So the playbook is when you're playing the game, there are certain they're called plays. Certain strategies. So, this player should run that way, or we're going to do a run rather than a pass. Or when we do a pass, this player's going to run that direction, that player's going to run that direction. And when you're playing the game, you'll have access to those particular playbooks. So the ones I've got here are the Dolphins ones, but you are free to change these to other teams when you earn those packs on the marketplace. You can also do things like special strategies for offensive, defensive, all these sort of things. And then lastly, we've got the visuals. You can change your head coach, your stadium, your kits, and this is all based on your favorite team you pick at the start. If you choose a different team, you wouldn't have the Dolphins, you'd have someone else to start with. So you're free to come up with or buy custom kits and all that just to come up with your own team. You're not the Dolphins, you're whoever you name your team as. So that's hopefully cleared up what on earth the lineup is. Let's go back. One thing actually that I really like for beginners is it can get quite confusing looking at that team there. Sorry, one thing I wanted to show you on the lineup. And figuring out from the many players who's the best player or overall. There's a button down the bottom there, generate best lineup. And if you hit that, it says what you want to do. You can go best 8 team overall or any of these other ones. But in my case, or for many beginners, you're just going to go with best team overall, generate best lineup. And it will have a little look at all the players that you own and put the best lineup that it can come up with, which is generally going to be the players with the highest ratings. So that's cool. Now, I own more than that number of players. So I will just show you where they sit up. That's your item binder. So this is all of the stuff that you own. And over the course of the season, or indeed the entire lifetime of Madden 24, you're going to end up with loads of players. So you can see I've got 100 items at the minute. I've put one in auction, but all these other things here, all these other players, some I can sell, some I can bin. And part of the fun of Ultimate Team is either collecting players to improve your lineup is obviously the main priority, but you might want to have various different lineups so you can play with different players. If you've got your favorite NFL players, you may want to get them. There'll be better cards that tend to appear over the lifetime of the game, so you may start with an 83 Jalen Ramsey, but a better card of him may appear later on in the game. So you can mix and match these. You're free to sell these players or some of these players if they are tradable to other players. So if you want to do that, you can view the item. And in here, if it shows the auction is an option, you can auction the item or you can quick sell it. So this one I could sell for 14,000 coins, or I could auction the item. And if I go in here, the auction system's really nice. You can see we've got gives me a rough idea of what people have sold this from on recent sales. You've got the lowest buy it now price, the median price. So if I've tried to sell about 16,000, that would probably sell. I can change the duration, I fill in all of this. I can have an auction, or I can do a buy it now, or I can turn the buy it now off, post the auction, and then that player will be up for sale. I don't want to do that though in this case, so I'll back out of there. I can see the attributes of the player. I can also upgrade the player, so there's different upgrades that we can do to players just to make them that little bit different. And I can also see the players' really geeky stats on here as well. So all sorts of stuff that you can see player by player, so you can get quite geeky with them. So let's come back out of here. So that's my team. You've then got Marketplace. So this is where you can buy players, and there's different ways that you can buy players. You've got the store, sets, or I should say acquire players if you use sets, auctions hub, and the catalog. So let's start with the store and just tell you a little bit about that. The store is where you can actually spend real money. Actually, this will cost you money to buy certain packs to improve your team. So, for example, if you wanted the Pro Platinum Elite bundle, which, funny enough, is one of the top bundles, but it's damn expensive. If we look at this, this would get you all of these things: 580 plus overall elite players, 1580 plus overall elite, blah, 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 12,000 points. You go, well, how much are points? Down the bottom left-hand side, extra add points. This is how much that would cost. £80. You would have a pretty awesome team for that, but it's going to cost you nigh on £80 to get that particular pack. You don't have to spend that. There are packs starting from about 500 points, which is about £4. So if you have a little look at my other videos, I did do a pack that you get on a regular basis for 500 points. There's another one there for 500 points. And some of these you can use coins that you earn in-game to buy. So this particular pack you could spend 37,500 coins on to get it. If we have a little look at this, you get a choice of 3 of 5 70 plus overall players and your choice of 3 of 4 73 overall gold players. So not a bad pack, and I don't have to spend real money on that. I could spend in-game money if I've earned it. So various different packs here and all sorts of different stuff. You know, loads of stuff, and these will vary throughout the season. You've also got packs like with 2 specific players, so these will be promoted over the season. So if you wanted a what have we got here, quarterback and a wide receiver, both rated really well, 2,200 points. If we look at those points again, that's going to cost you what, about 15, 16 pounds, or you could get this pack here to afford them. So of course EA Sports Madden 24 is looking to earn money throughout the season by hoping that you'll buy these packs, which many people do. Entirely up to you whether you do that or not, though. So let's go back outside here and talk about if you're not going to spend real money and you're going to earn money in game, what can you do? You've got the auctions hub, and this is where you buy and sell players to other players in the game. And if we just jump into here, you can go and search for specific players. I'll give you a very quick overview of it, nothing too deep in here because it's just a beginner's guide. But here we see players that are, I'm just going to move my camera a moment while we talk about this. These are players organised by buy now price, so the lowest buy now price at the minute. I can also change it by time remaining and see what is running out quick. And you see the auction price and the buy now price. Sometimes these are very close together, like in this case. And this is where, because you have to put a auction price, but this particular player who's listing this player wants to sell this at 14,100. So he's put the bid price at the same amount. But you could get it for 14,050 if you bid now rather than 14,100. It's not really worth it though, is it? Sometimes you'll see a large disparity between the two. I'm just seeing whether we can see an example. Many people are locking very close to that price though, because they want a certain amount for the player. So you can use the filters on the left hand side to find a particular player or type of player. So if I wanted a quarterback, for example, I could change this to quarterback, and then we can see various quarterbacks when they're running out, or change the filter here to search A to Z, overall, number of bids. So let's say we wanted to go for a particular price player, and then we could then narrow this down if we wanted someone cheaper. So let's say Mariota. So that's an example of a lower bid, 2,950, but buy it now price of 10,000. But how do we know if that's a good buy? So what I'm now going to do is type Mariota in here and see whether that is a good deal or not. So it's a bit funky the way this system works, because you can't narrow down quite to, you know, like a specific price point. But I can see all Mariotas. So you can see this one, 350 starting price. That's the lowest bid available for him at the minute, which seems like a good deal to me. If you could nab the player at that, and if you wanted to do that, you could go in here and place a bid. So I'll say I will place a bid at that, and maybe I'll get lucky. But it's still got 4 minutes to run, and somebody else can come in and bid higher than that if they want. but I will put that in and just see whether we get lucky or not. So that's the auction house. So the idea is you can, buy whatever players you want if you've got the money to do it. So let's come back out of there and come out again. And I will just move to another area and just tell you about that as well. Sets is another system that you've got where you can trade in your players in return for another player. So I'm still early days, so I've probably not got the players to be able to do this, but I can explain the process for you. So in here, you can basically get, sometimes you'll see packs that you can redeem immediately, like I've redeemed these two that you get when you start. But if I wanted an 87 rated Kenny Pickett, if we look at this, it'll tell us what we need to get him. I would need to trade in, so I can't do this at the minute because I haven't got the players, but 84 to 85 overall players, if I put them in there, I would then get him as the reward. So he's a rarer card at that rating, so you debate whether it's worth those 5 players. You obviously don't want to be putting in awesome players to get him, but that's an option. So sometimes you'll see some good deals in there, sometimes not, and that gets easier as your squad gets bigger over time. It's also a way that you can use your untradeable players if you can't sell them in the auction house. So lots to learn in Ultimate Team. That's that area. Let me just see whether there's anything else we haven't covered. We'll go back to play, and I'll just show you in depth a couple of areas. I'm not going to show you them all, but just a little bit of the stuff that we've got. So if you wanted to earn coins up the top, so obviously we need coins to buy players, we can earn those in a few different areas. So challenges and solo battles are my favorite as a solo player. So challenges can be anything from 20 seconds up to a few minutes. They are little mini games where you've got to do certain objectives. So I'll just show you a couple of examples here. So you can see there are a bunch of challenges. Sorry, if I go back 24 challenges in the current one that's listed, the headliners. And you go through each of these, and each of these has a little mini game where you can earn stars. If you then jump into these, you'll see what you learn for earning the stars. And you can change the difficulty. So if I go for hard, that's like my bonus bits. And then up above me, it tells me what I need to do. 20 yards in 4 plays and don't get sacked. So that means I need to progress or sort of go forward 20 yards without my quarterback getting sacked. I tackled before he manages a pass. I can play it as solo, or I can play it with friends as co-op if I had someone else online who had the game. And then once I've completed that, I'll get a notification of what I earned. So 5 stars is what I earned on that one. So that got me 500 coins for doing that, and it took me seconds to do that particular one. They obviously get more difficult the further you go through these, and as new challenges appear later through the seasons, they will get more challenging over time as well. But they're an easy way of earning points and just jumping into the game, no problem to do. So I'm not going to show the gameplay of them because they're fairly self-explanatory, and that's not what we want to cover here. Solo battles is a nice mode, particularly when you're a beginner to Ultimate Team. So this one is where you're going to take on the computer-controlled opponents. So here's an example. These are 3 that I've already done. You can see that I won, so at the bottom. But I'm only on a fairly low difficulty level. I'm just playing on Pro at the minute because I'm still learning the game. But you go to any of these and then you advance. So this one would be a 73 overall team that I'd be against. I'm 76 overall, so you would say I would do all right. So if I advanced here, it would then show me this option where you can pick, and you'll get more score if you can manage to win, depending on what difficulty you pick. So Pro will give you a 20% boost, Veteran 40%, but obviously these are harder the more you go. So you can see Pro is setting the difficulty to Rookie, Veteran is setting the difficulty to Pro, and then All-Star is getting very, very scary. So I'm currently just playing at this while I learn. I'm going to try and go up to that soon because I'm doing all right on Pro, but it is quite a jump between these two. So I suggest you start on that and see how you go, or maybe even Rookie just while you're beginning. Once you've done all of those, I think there's an option to refresh. If not, they refresh, I think, every 24 hours. So it says 3 hours until the next opponent update. You've also got the featured opponent, which is the super duper one, and you will earn extra for doing that one. 80 rated headliners opponent, so better than my team. So that one I would probably find a tougher game. So I might be all right on the pro setting, but I'll probably get whipped on the veteran setting. You can also see your rank so far, and each week you will get a reward based on where you end up. So at the minute I'll get 1,000 coins. I don't know why, but these still suck. You still only get 1,000 coins for each of these. I wonder whether that'll improve over time. I'm not sure. And then you can see the top 100 as to what players are doing the best on here so far and what their battle score is. So you get a bit of an overview there. So a slight competitive nature to solo battles, even though you're playing solo. So we'll come back out of here, head to head. So this is where you can play against other players. So if you're more interested in something a bit more, challenging, and you want to play against a real life opponent, you can do that here. So you see you got the regular season, play through an NFL season and get to playoffs. What's regular season or this? I still have to jump into this, to be quite honest, but I'm just showing you that's where you can jump in, set this all up and, go through this. So another thing that you can do on the Ultimate Team, if you're struggling to understand all the rules, is go into practice, and this is where you can use your lineup and adjust or get used to various different controls. There's various different ways to learn. So you've got normal, practice, offense only, the defense difficulty level, so you can change this to whatever you want. So if we just go in pro, for example, game style competitive, and then we can just press A to play, and then that will take us into a practice area where we can just learn how all of the system works. So if we have a quick look, for example, at a pass, and then I can look at what the offense will do against, what the defense will do against me. You can see a free pass there, so just pass it there, and then, learn to run with the ball. So it's a way of practicing without going into the main. And again, this will just keep repeating, so we can just keep repeating that play unless I want to choose a different play. So it's a way of getting used to a particular play and against a particular defense. You can do the same sort of thing by flipping the sides, so you can reverse the teams, practice type, blah blah blah. But good way of practicing. So that's something as a beginner is quite good in Ultimate Team as well. Another thing to keep an eye on in Ultimate Team is if you get unopened packs, they'll appear here on your front page. So when you complete certain objectives, you may win a pack, and they'll show here. And then when you open a pack, some packs will have something obvious in, some packs will have something random in. So you'll get a little animation like this. And this is a midfield pack. So we've got a 72, an 83, nice, a 70. And a 70, and we can use that generate best lineup that we saw before to improve the team. You can also delve into each of these and have a little look at this particular player. So we can say compare this player, for example, and this will show against my current LT rated player. So I've got a 72, so this is a superior player, so they will improve my team, which is pretty cool. So when we come back out of here, we could either promote them to starter from here or just go back and upgrade the team in a minute. So I'm going to do that because the other two may improve the squad as well. So we'll just dismiss this. I don't have any packs, blah, blah, blah. I can buy more packs if I want. But if we go over to my team again and the lineups, you see just above my head there, 76 is my current rating. So let's see if that pack improves it. So Y generate best lineup, best team overall. Yes, 77. So that pack did improve my squad that little bit. So that's Ultimate Team, a beginner's guide for you. You're obviously not showing the gameplay, but more the mechanics of Ultimate Team itself. So hopefully you've got a better idea of what you're looking at. If it was useful to you, give us a thumbs up, please. Much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If there's stuff you're stuck on Madden 24, just let me know and I'll do my best to help you with a future tutorial. I'll also put up some tutorials at the end of here, big old playlist that I'm working on. I've got loads of ideas for Madden 24 in coming days, weeks, months. I'm going to try and play it all throughout the season and, just keep sharing stuff that helps me. Hopefully it helps you. So if you'd like to be kept up to date with that, hit that subscribe. That'd be awesome. Thanks.